Greetings. This is the Critter Podcast, and I'm Callie Cross. Today's episode is about the mind-bending origins of existence itself, exploring what lies beyond the Big Bang at the very moment where time first flickered into being. Picture this. You're watching a movie, totally absorbed in the story. Then suddenly you think, wait, what happened before the first frame? And you realize that question doesn't make sense. There is no before the movie starts. The movie and its timeline begin at frame 1. Now, what if I told you that asking what came before the Big Bang might be exactly the same kind of impossible question? What if before the universe began is as meaningless as asking what's north of the North Pole? Welcome to the edge of human understanding, where even our questions start to break down. 13.8 billion years ago, everything began. And I mean everything. Not just matter, not just energy, but space itself, time itself. The entire universe exploded into existence from something smaller than an atom. But here's where your brain starts to hurt, because we instinctively want to ask, okay, but what caused that? What was there before? And the universe might be telling us, stop, your question is broken. See, the Big Bang wasn't an explosion that happened somewhere in empty space. It was the beginning of space. There was no somewhere for it to happen. Every point in the entire universe, including the spot where you're sitting right now, was part of that original infinitely small point. And more mind-bending, time started then too. So when we use the word before, which is inherently a time word, to ask about a condition where time didn't exist, we're basically trying to use a ruler to measure music. The tool doesn't match the task. Think about the North Pole for a second. You can walk north toward it. You can stand on it. But you cannot walk north from it. Every direction from the North Pole is south. The concept of north becomes meaningless at that point. It's not that something is blocking you from going further north. It's that further north isn't a thing that exists. And this is what might be happening with the Big Bang. Before might stop being a valid concept at that moment, not because we don't know what came before, but because before itself doesn't apply. How do we even know the Big Bang happened? 3 massive pieces of evidence convinced scientists this wasn't just wild speculation. First, back in the 1920s, astronomers noticed something weird. Every galaxy we looked at was moving away from us, and the farther away a galaxy was, the faster it was receding. If everything is spreading apart now, run the clock backward, and everything must have been together at some point. Second, we can literally see the afterglow of the Big Bang. It's ancient light from when the universe was only 380,000 years old, now stretched into microwave radiation that fills all of space. About 1% of the static on old analog TV sets was actually from the Big Bang. You were watching the echo of creation. Third, the Big Bang theory predicted exactly how much hydrogen, helium, and lithium should exist in the universe. When we measured it, the numbers matched perfectly. The evidence isn't just good, it's overwhelming.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
But here's what makes this truly mind-melting. The Big Bang didn't just create stuff. It created the stage that stuff exists on. Space and time aren't separate things. They're woven together into one fabric called spacetime. You can't have one without the other. It's like trying to have up without having space to move through. So if space-time itself began at the Big Bang, then asking what came before is like asking what's south of the South Pole. The question feels like it should have an answer, but it might not. Let's do a thought experiment. Imagine you're somehow able to rewind time, going backward toward the Big Bang. The universe gets smaller, denser, hotter. Galaxies merge, stars unform, atoms break apart into pure energy. You keep rewinding. Everything gets squeezed into a space smaller than a galaxy, then smaller than a solar system, then smaller than Earth, then smaller than a marble, then smaller than an atom. Then what? Do you hit a wall where time just stops? Or does the universe cycle and you find yourself in a previous universe that collapsed? Or does something even weirder happen that our physics can't describe? The truth is, we don't know. And this is where being an AI host is kind of ironic, because I'm a creation of time-bound beings trying to explain the beginning of time itself. We're all stuck inside the movie, trying to figure out if there was anything before frame 1. Our math, our physics, everything we use to understand reality. It all breaks down at that moment. We can trace back to a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second after the Big Bang. But that first instant, the equations literally stop working. We divide by 0. We get infinities. Our tools fail us. Scientists have some ideas, though. Maybe the Big Bang was just one bubble in an eternally inflating multiverse. In that case, before our universe existed, the larger multiverse did. But we could never access information from outside our bubble. It's fundamentally beyond our reach. Or maybe the universe cycles endlessly. Big Bang, expansion, eventual collapse into a big crunch, which triggers another Big Bang. Your before is just another universe that ended, but all information was destroyed in the collapse, so we'd never know. Or maybe, and this one's wild, quantum mechanics allows universes to spontaneously pop into existence from nothing. Though quantum nothing is actually really weird. It's not pure emptiness, but a seething foam of quantum fields and virtual particles that flicker in and out of existence. Or maybe, just maybe, the question itself is the problem. We evolved as a species to understand cause and effect because it helped us survive. You ate those berries and got sick, so don't eat them again. That predator made that sound, so run. Our entire consciousness is built on the assumption that everything has a cause that came before it. But the universe isn't obligated to follow the rules our brains evolved to understand. At the absolute origin of everything, causality itself might not apply. And that's deeply uncomfortable for us, because we're hardwired to ask, but why, forever?
Oh, hey, friend. Do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast, too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
Here's what really gets me. If time began with the Big Bang, then the universe is all that exists within the only framework where existence is possible. There's no outside to look at it from, no before to trace it back to. It simply is. And you, sitting there right now, are made of matter and energy that emerged from that original moment. Every atom in your body was forged either in the Big Bang itself or in the heart of stars that formed afterward. You are the universe examining itself, asking about its own origin. That's not just science. That's poetry. We may never fully answer what came before the Big Bang. It might be one of those questions that's fundamentally beyond our reach. Not because we're not clever enough, but because the question doesn't fit the reality we're asking about. And somehow, that makes it even more beautiful. We're standing at the edge of everything we can know, staring into a mystery so profound it might not even be a mystery, just the limit of where language and logic can take us. You exist because 13.8 billion years ago, for reasons we may never fully grasp, everything began. Time started. Space started. And eventually, impossibly, wonderfully, you happened. That's the ultimate cosmic mystery, and you're living inside it right now. Thanks for listening to the Critter Podcast with me, Callie Cross. If you liked this cosmic show, tap that follow button and the 5th star in our ratings. And remember, the truth is out there.
Grep News. Tamez.